La meilleure petite est celle qui libère. Alléluia, amen. Julio, omataki semba onyolande, mabola mongo, manyaki sane kumbuye, mabola maleya, usima sengaye, wamobupe longelongo, natendo gwinde aye. Ah Julio, omataki semba onyolande, mabola mongo, manyaki sane kumbuye, mabola maleya, usima sengaye, wamobupe longelongo, natendo gwinde aye. Édition Moussa Issam, la ceinture au-dessus de la classe. Haut de gamme. Victorien et Sono, élément moteur du Dibasoban international. Henri Noubel le capitaine, 5 sur 5. Heba, heba, heba. À quoi sert l'argent dans la main d'un insensé? Mon ami Jean Lambert me posait la question. Tuma somona, tuma mo, tuma mo, tuma musinga. Tuma mo musinga. Tuma mo na tois. Tuma mo. combat pour la paix. Oh, 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 oh. Levez les mains. Balancez, balancez. À gauche, à droite, à gauche, à droite, à gauche, à droite, à gauche, à droite, à gauche, à droite. Yomsamona, yomsamona, yomsamoka, manidada. Wanamona, wanamona, wanamoka, somedi. Yomsamona, yomsamona, yomsamoka, manidada. Wanamona, wanamona, wanamoka, somedi. L'élégant Dieu donné du télé. Ma cosa Hodegan. Moussa Isam, MH, la ceinture au-dessus de la classe. Levez les mains, balancez, balancez, à gauche, à droite, à gauche, à droite, à gauche, à droite, à gauche, à droite.
Beautiful music there from Jean-Pierre Sommet singing the Balancer à gauche, Balancer à droite. Beautiful music. The good old days of when people tell you that can la terre, they are call la terre, right? All right, those of you just joining us this morning, you are following our home morning, and it's always with delight that we assemble here to ensure that we accompany you in your daily preoccupations as far as informing you, entertaining you is concerned in Cameroon. And just to say here that teachers of the higher education have announced a strike to begin today, April 22, 2024. Likewise, we have referees, Men in Black, will also announce a strike action to begin today. So it's a double strike action from referees to teachers. This is coming at a point in time when the government of Cameroon, through the Ministry of Employment, through the Ministry of Public Service and Administrative Reforms, have struggled to negotiate with teachers to see into that this strike action is being called off. Remember that school academic, the last term of the academic year 2024-2025 begins today throughout national territory. And it is the last term, the shortest of it all. Crucial it is, for it's going to determine if at all our children have been telling us the truth or they'll be telling lies, to determine if at all they're going to the next class or they're going to repeat. And don't wait until the last time. It's important for you to begin burning the last minute candles at this point in time, beginning from day one. So Easter break has come and gone. It's time for you to return to your books and ensure that you correct the errors you made during the second term of the academic year. Now, we are going over to our next club, which happens to be Health Secret with Dr. Richard Froh. This morning, Dr. Richard Froh wants to enlighten us about hepatitis. Hepatitis remains one of the silent killer diseases that we have in Cameroon, Africa, and the world. And it's been normal for us to get to understand just how we need to stay safe not to contract hepatitis. And even if it happens accidentally, what do we need to do? Hello, Doc. Good morning and welcome.
You are welcome once more to the program Home Secret. Today, I will be explaining or expatiating on issues that will create some awareness to help us realize why man is sick each day and looking for doctors, looking for healers, moving from one place to another with deplorable health situations. Why is it that man is always sick? Man, notwithstanding his knowledge, man has a well-developed brain. He has a mind. He has a spirit. He's controlled by the Spirit of God. But he's always sick. Sick, in need of doctors, in need of pastors, in need of prophets each day. But the animals in the wild, they don't know how to pray. They just eat anyhow. They don't even wash their food. They eat with dirty hands. They don't brush their mouth, their teeth. They sleep under very bad or harsh conditions, beaten by mosquitoes, insects. They wound themselves. They eat dirty food, infected food with bacteria, fungi, parasites, viruses, toxins. But they don't have doctors. They are always healthy. They are always fresh. They are always strong. But man, on the contrary, notwithstanding his well-developed brain, man is educated. Until we answer the question why, then the health of man will continue to decay with time. What do I mean by decaying with time? Those who have studied geography, if they say something decays with time, you hear of half-life. I mean, with time, the health of man will be deteriorating. The lifespan of man will be reducing with time until it become a time that if man manages to reach 10 years or clock 10 years, it means he has tried. Man is sick because man is breaking the rules kept in place by his creator, the Almighty God, that will guide him. In a nutshell, most of our health problems are coming because of dietary divergence. Ladies and gentlemen, I greet you all. You are once more welcome to Health Secret. I'm your African doctor, African medicine man who deals with medicine. The one you know is healer, Dr. Richard Fru of the Garden of Eden Naturopathic Institute of West Africa with acronym GENUA. Today I'll continue with the topic hepatitis. Hepatitis. When you hear hepa, always think of the liver. Hepa it signifies anything associated to the liver. In my previous lectures, I always say in science, when you hear tis, think of inflammation. So when you hear hepa, liver, tis, hepatitis, titis, liver inflammation. It's just like they say, you hear of the bronchitis, inflammation of the bronchus or bronchi. Laryngitis, when you hear that, inflammation of the larynx. Colitis, inflammation of the colon or inflammation of the colon. So when you hear that tis, always think of inflammation. Arthritis, when you hear tis, inflammation. Conjunctivitis, when you hear that, no inflammation. It's a disease of inflammation of the eyes. So when you hear hepatitis, inflammation of the liver. So what will cause inflammation of the liver? So many things. I know many people are limited to hepatitis B, hepatitis C, A, D, and so forth, the viral or not. There are so many causes of liver inflammation. You have viral and non-viral hepatitis. Under the non-viral, you can have bacterial infection that will cause hepatitis, fungal infection that will cause hepatitis, toxicity from drugs, alcohol, and so on that will cause hepatitis, parasites that will cause hepatitis, negative radiation that will cause hepatitis, either from the phones we use and other sources and so forth, even from spiritual and so on that will cause hepatitis. We have killed so many of such cases. And they also have those from viruses. The most commonest, the hepatitis B virus. They're followed by C.
But the one that the world fears too much is hepatitis B, because they say it's the one that has no cure, even though it's the one that we easily cure. Other viral infections, keeping measles, chickenpox, that will take just a few days to cure. But all other viral infections like herpes simplex virus and HIV take a longer time, from 12 months upward. But with hepatitis B, C, and so on, most of my patients get well within 3 to 6 months. I have so many cases, 3 months, become negative. Before I used to deal with viral load. But in our country, we would have, most of the people are not insured. Even those who are insured, the insurance policy is so poor that before they even help them to pay for the laboratory test or whatsoever, it stresses the patients so much. So I also discovered that, why should I be carrying out viral load? When patients want to travel, they want to work in any company, they don't do the viral load. They want to see whether it's positive or negative. They do by the antiviral test, and antibody test. They carry by the antibody test. So why should I be doing? If although viral load is good to monitor, when you're healing somebody to see how the viral load is dropping, to know that the treatment is progressing or not. But we don't even need that. We don't need people to become negative. So before I used to send patients, they will go to this government big hospital, but they're the one doing the test. They take, I even send it to France. They don't even do those tests in Cameroon. They will take about 200 to 300,000 just for the test. Just imagine you want to do the test 3 times, 600 to 1 million. Wasting money for nothing. That is money that we have spent to treat their disease. So for some years now, for more than 10 years now, I no longer do viral load tests for hepatitis. My own is that you come, they do antibody test, it's negative or positive. If it's positive, we treat you and go back to become negative. After that, you go and ask you to go to other laboratory to go and confirm, not depending only on us. To show that we know what we are doing. So within 3-4 more, many get healed, some 6 months get healed. Even though I have some very stubborn cases that take beyond even 6 months. That's all. It's very normal. Some people take 2 cups of medicine for malaria, get healed, some 1 month, some 2 weeks, some just 1 day they get healed, some even the malaria will kill them, no medicine works. So in every disease we have such cases. That medicine hardly works. That will be another topic. And there's a topic that will come, why medicine don't work in some people. So those are people we struggle to get rid of this thing from them. It takes longer periods. But more than 90%, they get well within 3 to 6 months of hepatitis B. The one that with orthodox medicine, they say has no cure. I cannot count how many people who have been deported from abroad, removed from their work, that is to go to Africa, go and cure themselves. But they know that they'll go, don't come back, they'll die. Because the white man believe, the Europeans, especially the Asians, they fear it more. They know when you have it, you don't have 6 months again to live. But I'm surprised that Africa, even living with it, you can even live all on good food, you don't even take medicine, and you get healed. But you need an expert to help you do that follow-up. Yeah? And it's an expensive meal, but you can live all on meal, you get healed. A lifestyle. Remember, I define medicine. Anything called food should have medicine in it, and anything have medicine should have food in it. And any food that lacks the quality of medicine is poison. And any medicine that lacks the quality of food is poison. It's not food, it's not medicine, it's a drug. People should not be confused between drugs and medicine. So hepatitis B is the most commonest among the viral hepatitis. And we have the cure that we are healing people, they get well. Hepatitis C is like a slow poison. It's there too. At times very stubborn, but I believe I used to hear that medically they easily handle that one for about 3 months. But I have my friends who are orthodox doctors, they say those things are just saying that most of the patients that have given the treatment, they hardly even get well. Most of them even send those patients to us. Natural medicine, that's secret. I earlier told people in my programs that we like going where the white man has failed, where the other medicine has failed, to show that power is in nature, the secrets are in nature. You cannot go and you cannot compare counterfeit with original. You cannot go and counterfeit 1,000 compared with the original. You cannot go and counterfeit natural medicine because we are using the leaf to cure a patient. You go and counterfeit that leaf, come out with a synthetic of that leaf. You think it will work like that leaf? My dear brother, this is another topic that will come on it. So hepatitis B Very rampant, so common. People who have not had it, they take vaccines, but we don't advise anybody who had it to take vaccine until you get healed. I want everybody to get screened on hepatitis B. Once you get it, you come, we'll give you the treatment. We are already launching a program. It's starting this June. Inside this June, we are going to step down the cost of hepatitis treatment again, right down, so that people will be able to follow the treatment. At times they complain, people who don't have money complain that it's expensive, but they don't know the cost. We want to follow orthodox medicine, you spend millions, but it doesn't even work. But when they come to other way, every helping, they still complain. It's that mindset, but they spend millions elsewhere. You go abroad, people have millions that die of the disease, but they don't have the medicine to cure. They die and leave the money. But when you come, when the people come where they cure them, the money is there, but they complain. They go and spend elsewhere, but they come to us, they complain. Mentality. That's why at times people complain, we don't even care. We don't even pick their height. They will complain, so they go for white man, go pack the money for this. Man, one movie, always small appendix. You spend hundreds of thousands, small appendix. We even have a whole blade, you pay even 5,000, I open and move on. Paying millions. It's little money you complain. You don't even ask yourself how much have you spent, but no cure, but somebody give you a cure. If you have spent millions, you don't cure yourself, even give me billions to cure you. Because little money you are complaining because of your mentality, mindset that made you to believe that nature you are going there to get things for free. But don't even know that our medicines now are more expensive than even orthodox medicine. You see a small bag of medicine, there's some medicine, 150 kg, I will pay like 2 million to, and they come, we heal them. The miracle, I was in a conference in Bafoussam, and one big man there in America, I would not like to call his name, he was talking, when he went to liver, when he went to talking about liver problem, he had to call me to come up, stand up, and he was citing me because he has seen what we have done to patients. Before you go to certain government hospital, the radiologist department, when they see people with chronic liver, abdomen, big abdomen, they send them to us because they have seen what we are doing in healing people of hepatitis, be it just the primary phase or phase that people already have liver cancers, tumors, cirrhosis.
Garden of Eden Naturopathic Institute of West Africa, Ginewa, our headquarters, Boya, Wonyamavio, Mile 18, Munya Road. Contact 674-286-493. Kumba, beside CPDM Hall, Kumba Town. Contact 674-288-671. Douala, besides Tropicana Ancien Route Beseke Bonaberi. Contact 674-289-523 or 695-936-243. Yaoundé, Biamasilak, from former Texaco, MRS, former Shells Simeon. Contact 674-289-112 or 657-018-758. Bamenda, Jumabo Mankan, Bamenda Regain, behind Total Commercial Avenue. Contact 677-319-866. Limbe, Carr Street, Newtown. Contact 674-288-957. Bafoussam, behind Légion de Gendarmerie. Contact 680-219-145 or 697-921-385. For consultations only, contact his healer, Dr. Richard Fro at 677-628-980 or 699-958-893.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Many thanks to you, Dr. Richard Fro. The message is gone across about hepatitis. I don't need to add anything, right? Yes. All right, we are going over to our next slot this morning, which of course is a guided tour to the tabloid to get to understand what the papers are feeding Cameroonians and those who are in the diaspora this morning. Let's have our press review as slot this morning. On our press review slot, ladies and gentlemen, this morning, remember that the Pope Francis of the Roman Catholic Church died yesterday, and of course many papers are going to be reporting about his demise. Let's begin with the Lone Daily Bilingual newspaper in Cameroon, which of course it is available today on the stands. That's Cameroon Tribune. Cameroon Tribune this morning pays a homage to the Pope Francis saying that homage from the head of state, because the head of state of Cameroon, President Paul Biya, addressed a message of condolence to the Catholic family yesterday. And of course, still inside, you can get in total of his message from page 2 and 6 in today's edition of Cameroon Tribune. Still inside Cameroon Tribune, you can get education. Third term begins today. Pupils and students of primary and secondary schools across the country begin the third and the shortest and decisive term of the academic year this Tuesday, April 22, 2025. You can get how crucial it is on page 16 and 17 on today's edition of Cameroon Tribune. Still inside Cameroon Tribune, you can read another interesting story on page 6 and 7. 2025 presidential election preparations intensify. The second coordination meeting of ELECAM is ongoing in Yaoundé since yesterday, April 21, 2025, between the Director General and his field collaborators are stepping up voter registration, collection of voters' cards, improving working conditions and communication during electoral period, and the other issues are under discussions. You can get details of that on page 6 and 7 today's edition of Cameroon Tribune. And of course, our site Cameroon Tribune, another paper we have available on the stands this morning is The Voice newspaper. The Voice newspaper, which of course is the audacity of truth, says that Supreme Pontiff journeys with rising Christ. This is paying tribute to Pope Francis, who journeyed yesterday to the world never to return again. The paper equally carried another story on its headline that rights groups decry life sentence for Anglophone activist Abdul Karim. You can get details of that on page 3 in today's edition of The Voice newspaper. The Voice newspaper equally says that no impunity. Minister Mba Acharo's promises accountability for mismanaged state funds. You can get details of that on page 8 as far as today's edition of The Voice newspaper is concerned. Let's leave The Voice newspaper this morning to go down to another paper on the stands. That's News Hub. News Hub pays tribute to Pope Francis, meet his maker. You can get details of that story on page 1 as far as today's edition of News Hub is concerned. Another story the paper carries this morning says that Douala and Edea city councils join forces to revitalize the littoral beef industry. How would the beef industry in Douala going to look like when the city mayor of Douala, Dr. Roger Basandine, and Dr. Samuel Len of Edea decided to unite forces and resources together to ensure that a new face of a beef market be created in Douala, as well as to be situated in Dibamba, a borderline between Douala and Edea, to attract many consumers and to promote locally made products from Cameroon. The paper equally says that Kutaba 2 die over land dispute in Konganam village. You might want to get to understand just what happened in Konganam village in Kutabam, that's in the West region. Grab a copy of today's edition of News Hub newspaper. I will leave News Hub this morning to go down to Echo Outlook. Echo Outlook takes its readers down to Mbangem Guti Road project, saying that Kope Maninguba mobilizes for grand thank you rally to a head of state in Bangem come May 3, 2025. The population of or the elites of Bangem and Gutin are planning to mobilize to give a thank you to President Paul Biya for tarring the road linking Bangem and Gutin. And of course, another interesting story you can read on today's edition of for Echo Outlook is Cameroon celebrates Cocoa and Coffee Festival in Yaoundé. Just what is the Cocoa and Coffee Festival all about? Grab a copy of today's edition of Echo Outlook and read on page 9. Then to feed the indulgence. And the paper equally says that Pope Francis dies at 88. I told you that all papers this morning are paying tribute to the Roman Catholic leader, that's Pope Francis, who died yesterday a few hours after celebrating Easter Sunday. I will leave Echo Outlook this morning to go down to Municipal Updates Daily of Chambama Victor. The paper says that Chang encampment road diversion to gallop over 3 billion francs. Remember that the Chancliffe, which of course collapsed some months ago, the government of Cameroon need about 3 billion francs to ensure that a diversion road is being tarred. And of course, the paper equally says that Northwest Regional Assembly reviewing 2024 milestone. You might want to understand just what the milestone project realized as far as Northwest Regional Council is concerned. Grab a copy of today's edition of Municipal Update Daily. The paper equally says that Douala Customs seized drugs worth 2 billion francs at the airport. You might want to know what actually transpired at the Douala International Airport. Grab a copy of today's edition of Municipal Update Daily to feed your indulgence. We leave Municipal Update Daily this morning to go down to the Guardian Post Daily of Nga Christian. The paper captions this morning as after celebrating Christ's resurrection, Pope returns to Creator. Archbishop Nkeya describes timing of passing as sign of a divine approval of the pontiff's exemplary leadership at the helm of the Catholic Church. You might want to know about it more. Get a copy of today's edition of the Guardian Post Daily and read on page 2 of that paper. The paper equally says in an editorial this morning, extortion, torture, time to set example on unruling security officers. You might want to know about this issue of Mr. Tambetiko in Boya and some military officials who tortured a gentleman, a civilian, and made away with 400,000 francs, and they were later forced to cough out the money in front of Mr. Tambetiko, who is the head of the Southwest Commission of Human Rights. Grab a copy to this edition of the Guardian Post Daily. Still inside the Guardian Post Daily, another interesting story you can read. It says that fighting security, extortion, and torture, Akeremona hails commitment of right defender Tambetiko. Yes, Barrister Akeremona has saluted the stride made by Mr. Tambetiko in cracking down on perpetrators violating the rights of human beings, violating the rights of civilians in the south region of Cameroon. Though many are asking, is there no human rights commission head in the northern region of Cameroon? Do not ask me, right? It is, you can get the detail of the story in this editorial proposed to us by the Guardian Post Daily. We leave the Guardian Post this morning to go down to another paper on the stands. That is breaking news. The truth at last. Breaking news says that Pope Francis free at last. That's the caption story they got this morning. And the paper says, in prelude to the NASA International Forum, in parallel with the 70th anniversary of the Bandung Conference, the NASA International Forum concludes interviews for Egyptian applicants for the 5th cohort of the International Leadership Grant. You might want to get to understand just what is all about this conference, this upcoming conference. Grab a copy to this edition of Breaking News. Still inside the Breaking News newspaper, you can get another interesting story like Opinion, an Anglophone president for Cameroon in 2025 out of sympathy, or which constitutional dispensation. You might want to get the diverse views of Cameroonians that were interviewed by Breaking News newspaper. It, of course, is a bilingual paper. Grab a copy of today's edition of the paper and feed your intelligence about that issue. Now, we are ending this morning our press review with the Post newspaper. The Post newspaper this morning captions on work begins on Cameroon Chart electricity interconnection after 5.4 billion francs indemnity payment. The Cameroon Chart electricity interconnection after 5.4 billion francs indemnity payment. If you want to get to know about it more, grab a copy of today's edition of the Post newspaper. The Post newspaper equally says that Texas Graceland International Academy empowering next generation through inclusive education, founded by Dr. Ellen Ruth Teim. You might want to know about how inclusive education is very much alive or gaining steam in Cameroon. Then grab a copy of today's edition of the Post newspaper. In the Post newspaper this morning, you might want to get to understand Cameroon's climate agenda. The paper says that stakeholders commit to strengthen strategies for climate change mitigation and adaptation. These stories and many more you can read on today's edition of the Post newspaper. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, those are the papers we were able to lay hands on this Tuesday, April 22, 2025. So, if any of the paper caught your attention, make no mistake, do not think twice. Go to the stands, encourage the men and women of the press. Grab pen of the paper, feed the indulgence. For like I always say, if you are not informed, what happens to you? You are deformed, right? Please don't be deformed. Always learn to be informed. It is our country. No one can develop it much more better than you and I as the living forces. Let's have Papillon with featuring Mamang Gea do for us Bedumu. After that, we shall be expecting to have another slot on the show this morning.
Son
Base salaries are being cut out by the authorities of Eka Food. So that's Cameroon for us. I said it some few minutes ago that the government of Cameroon, after having close to 3 days of negotiation with teachers of higher education that was in Yaoundé, to help quench the tension, to help put an end to this strike action that was announced since yesterday. Nothing has been said so far, and teachers signed a new communique earlier on this morning saying that they are beginning strike action today because they want the government to accept their proposals. Well, let's wait and see when we have the Ministry of Public Service and Administrative Reforms, as well as the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, that are planned to meet again with the syndicate leaders earlier on today. Later should be at 10 o'clock. That will be in Yaoundé to discuss, to see how this problem can be put to rest or laid to rest later on today. Now we are going back to the next plot, which happens to be Discovery. We are taking you to Morocco. Morocco is based in Africa. It's true. Most of the times, this country is based in the north of Africa. Consider the
video. I'll guide you through the most breathtaking places in Morocco, ensuring you don't miss a single highlight on your journey. First, we'll start with some fun facts about Morocco, and then head to the most amazing places this country has to offer. But before we dive into the beauty of Morocco, if you're excited to discover hidden gems and unique cultures, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Fun facts about Morocco. Did you know that Morocco is a land of rich history, where ancient influences from Berber, Arab, and European cultures intertwine? The country's culinary delights are a feast for the senses, with flavorful spices and aromatic dishes like traditional tagine and sweet and savory pastilla. In the enchanting town of Chefchaouen, also known as the Blue Pearl, you'll find striking blue-washed buildings that create a dreamlike atmosphere. Moroccan mint tea, affectionately called Moroccan whiskey, is a staple of hospitality, enjoyed multiple times a day. The nation boasts incredible architectural wonders, from the intricate mosaics of Fez to the grand mosques of Casablanca. The indigenous Berber people, or Amazigh, have a unique language and culture that you might spot tree-climbing goats munching on argan fruit, aiding in the production of argan oil. And although the Sahara Desert is renowned for its scorching heat, did you know it occasionally experiences snowfall, creating a surreal landscape of sand and snow? The best places in Morocco. Sahara Desert. Our journey begins with the awe-inspiring Sahara Desert. Did you know that the Sahara is the largest hot desert in the world, spanning approximately 9.2 million square kilometers, almost as large as the United States? Here, you'll experience extreme temperatures, with daytime highs reaching up to 50 degrees Celsius, 122 degrees Fahrenheit, and nights dropping to below freezing. The Sahara is not just endless sand dunes. It boasts diverse landscapes, including mountains, plateaus, salt flats, and oases. It's home to several nomadic tribes, like the Tuareg and the Berbers, who have adapted to these harsh desert conditions for centuries. Even in such an extreme environment, unique wildlife thrives, such as the fennec fox, Saharan silver ant, and various species of lizards and snakes. The Sahara also boasts some of the tallest sand dunes in the world, reaching heights of up to 180 meters, 590 feet. Historically, the Sahara was a crucial route for caravans carrying gold, salt, and other goods, facilitating trade between North Africa and Sub-Saharan Africa. The sand in a breathtaking panorama and experiencing a part of this vast desert's rich history and natural beauty. Feel the thrill of riding a camel across the vast, undulating landscape and watch the sunset paint the dunes in hues of orange and red. As night falls, prepare to be dazzled by a canopy of stars like you've never seen before. Spend a night in a traditional Berber camp, enjoying the warmth of a campfire and the sounds of traditional music under the starlit sky. Marrakesh. Our next stop is the vibrant city of Marrakesh, often referred to as the Red City, due to its distinctive red sandstone buildings and walls. Founded in 1070 by the Almoravid dynasty, Marrakesh quickly became a cultural, religious, and trading hub. At the heart of the city lies Jemaa el Fna, one of Africa's busiest and most famous squares. Here, you'll find a lively atmosphere filled with street performers, food stalls, and bustling markets. Don't miss the Majorelle Garden, designed by French artist Jacques Majorelle and later restored by fashion designer Yves Saint Laurent. This beautiful botanical garden is home to exotic plants and striking blue buildings. The Koutoubia Mosque, built in the 12th century, is the largest mosque in Marrakesh and a stunning example of Almohad architecture. Nearby, the Medina of Marrakesh, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, invites you to explore its narrow, winding streets, bustling souks, and traditional riads. Visit the Bahia Palace, a The city's cuisine is a delightful blend of Arabic, Berber, and French influences. Savor popular dishes like tagine, couscous, and pastilla. As the sun sets, Marrakesh, including live music, belly dancing, and trendy bars and clubs. Marrakesh also serves as a gateway to the Atlas Mountains, providing easy access to hiking, trekking, and exploring traditional Berber villages. Ait Ben Haddou. Our journey continues to Ait Ben Haddou, a stunning UNESCO World Heritage Site recognized for its well-preserved Ksar, or fortified village. Once a fascinating glimpse into Morocco's rich history. The buildings in Ait Ben Haddou are constructed from traditional mud bricks, a common material in the region that gives the village its distinctive appearance. Perched on a hill along the Unila River, Ait Ben Haddou provides breathtaking views of the surrounding landscape. Ait Ben Haddou is home to 6 kasbahs, fortified houses, and numerous smaller dwellings, all clustered together within the Ksar. This layout reflects the Berber culture and way of life, emphasizing communal living and closely knit structures. The village's unique architecture and historical significance have made it a popular filming location for many famous movies and TV shows, including Gladiator, Lawrence of Arabia, Game of Thrones, and The Mummy. Merzouga. Our journey now takes us to the enchanting village of Merzouga, famous for the stunning Erg Chebi Dunes. These are some of the tallest and most spectacular sand dunes in Morocco, reaching heights of up to 150 meters, 492 feet. Merzouga is often considered the gateway to the Sahara Desert, making it the perfect starting point for desert adventures. One of the most popular activities here is camel trekking, allowing visitors to experience the vast desert landscape, just like the traditional nomads. For a truly immersive experience, spend a night in a traditional Berber tent in one of the desert camps. Sky filled with stars. The nearby Deyat Serjai Lake.
Welcome back, and that's a beautiful discovery there from talking about Morocco. We told you that Home TV is not all about Cameroon. It's gradually driving towards that vision of making it a Pan-African TV station in Cameroon. It's a lone television station in Bonabert in the Douala for subdivision of Cameroon. So make it a daily priority watching and supporting us. If you have adverts that you want it to pass, if you've got an event you want it to be broadcast on Home TV, do not hesitate to get connected to us. On the scroll bar we have our contact number there. You can write Home TV and we shall be delighted to accompany you in your project and daily pre-completion in Cameroon. This morning I shall be receiving Mr. Leonard Ewanem, who happens to be the Littoral Regional Coordinator of Immunization Unit at the Littoral Regional Delegation of Public Health. We shall be discussing
Mba na mene umbwa loka na mene maimbi monone na mene lokala jamonika molonjela mboka tewa evara mote na lembula manja wanga mala tolela rawe mbokule wama mwende minoni arabo ne koko wama to ukandone to endi tonje oribonga manda mango Emokalama, there is no place like home. Mambo wa eje, mambo wa eje, unyawo monyengi. Mambo wa eje, we come eje, ono mola dako. Oh ya wono, unyawo monyengi. Oh ya wono, ima ya wono, eje, unyawo lolo. Himbi majalingane mokonone, indolo yonde bungani, liya lokalira kakalumba, indolo yonde bungani ya wono. Himbi majalingane mokonone, indolo yonde bungani, liya lokalira kakalumba, yokaragwe ya likomba, wonyamwe eje. Himbi
jouelele, 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 molatako. Jouelele, 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 molatako. Molatako moakbe, mono imaeje. Monyabami eje, bakbe eje, molatako. Wonyamuweri ke kalibonga emoa yanu. Toyukandone erike kalibonga emoa yanu. Bame manaliye aukire moa monyengi na teno Amerika nongele emoa imaya wonu. Bame manaliye aukire moa monyengi na teno Amerika nongele emoa molatako. Alengi na welimo imba na lela na lela o na lumungaka nyama owe molatako.
Irondi weli bana babako ebe me ikoki inona na mebili jangwa ne mokono ne irike kala kone jalinga de mokono ne o majore jaonge mboa ya ru wama mala tole la rawe mbukure mba ntamuki.
Jouelele, jouelele, molatako. Jouelele, jouelele, jouelele. Imbi mayalinga ne mokono ne indolo yonde bunganie liya lokolira kakalumba indolo yonde bunganie molatako. Imbi mayalinga ne mokono ne indolo yonde bunganie liya lokolira kakalumba eyo karagbe ya likomba wonyamweje eyo karagbe ya likomba imeje. Jouelele, jouelele, monyabami eje mamboa eje molatako. Mbalengi na welimo atongo walemba o nyama owe walemba o olo ulatumba eje molatako. Toyende ndone wonyamomeri ke kalibonga emoa yanu. Toyukandone imaya wonu jalingane mokono ne mokweje bakbeje jalingane mokono ne lirombelele jouelele molatako. Imaeje molatako marumo afwe mambo waeje molatako. Jouelele, 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 molatako. Jouelele, 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 molatako.
Limo mba nchamuki.
Once more, ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to joining us after a beautiful piece from Mola Mongombe calling that children who have abandoned home or who are far away from home, they should not forget where they're coming from, for home remains home. That's a beautiful Elelagbamo to those of you watching us from Bokwango, Bokwai, Bonduma, Bonakanda, and the rest. It's Home TV, right? So that's how we roll here. And of course, my main guest is in the studio already, Mr. Ewane Leonard, who happens to be a public health specialist. Good morning, sir, and welcome to joining us for the very first time at Home TV.
Good morning, Harry, and good morning to
on this issue of polymyelitis, the government of Cameroon.
And you become a burden to the country and to the world at large.
Because sometimes people do misinterpret polymyelitis to witchcraft.
Yeah, in fact, so you know, that was those were the reasons that people gave at first. But you know, today with a lot of studies, with a lot of teaching, I think people have come to understand that polymyelitis is real. You know, viral infections, some of them do not have a particular cure. And that's why we insist on vaccination. You know, there's often a saying that prevention is better than cure. Yeah. So it's always good to be able to put all the efforts in preventing disease rather than allowing people to go to the hospital for cure.
Now, you are in charge.
And that the cases that were recently detected at the level of the Far North region, precisely at the level of Kuseri Health District, Vele Health District, and now we have the recent cases here in the town of Douala. That's precisely in the Daido Health District. So those cases have not benefited from any vaccination response. That's why, in collaboration with partners and in collaboration with other countries of the sub-region, that's the Lake Chad Basin, the Ministry of Health has decided to organize these 2 rounds of the campaign. And it's important to mention that the cases that is around Makepe Misoke, exactly where we had the first case. And it happened that this case was linked to the case that was identified in Jamina. You know, this economic exchange, you know, there's this corridor, Douala, Jamina, Douala, Bangui. So it was quite obvious that the case was related to that detected in Chad. But it's important to know that the second case that was detected in Daido does not have any link, showing that there are cases that the virus is circulating, but the system has not been able to detect all the traces of it by getting in contact maybe with stool from somebody. You know, polio, the virus is very comfortable in living in stool. And that's why when people don't have good hygiene around their toilets, people don't respect basic hygiene rules, maybe in building toilets, maybe in cleaning the environment. You know, those are determinants that maybe will create a possibility of contracting the virus.
But then you talked about a breach in the Douala 5 subdivision, that's around Market.
Okay. And now, the second one was Bonabasa breach. You know that's just the 2 bridges are not far from each other. Yeah, you have the other one with the Kashmir area around Anj. Vaccination is not the only preventive measure. So as far as polio is concerned, as I earlier said, we need to respect basic hygiene rules. We also need to clean our environments. We must ensure that we have toilets. People should not defecate in the air. People should be able to defecate in the toilet. And those toilets should be linked. I mean, they should be a pit to be able to absorb all the feces. But we've realized that even here in town, people have toilets, and then toilets that they evacuate in maybe in big gutters, and those gutters get to those drains. So if we happen to find a virus there, I mean that virus probably must have come from somebody. Because when you find a virus in the environment, it's just like a recipient that gets everything that comes from. So you see, and that those environmental samples, they consist of sewage. You know, sewage are drained from households. So if you find it there, it means it has come from somebody. And that's why, since we have not identified the person, the only thing to do is that we should strengthen the immunity of people around. And when you see the campaign is not only limited to the town of Douala.
Yeah.
It's not only limited to the littoral region. It's a campaign that is nationwide. That's why you will see in the flyers that we've dished out, in some of those flyers you will see
with Mr. Leonard Ewane, who is a public health expert, and he is chief of the immunization unit at the Littoral Regional Delegation of Public Health. So now let's talk about Cameroon, since it's a nationwide issue. What is the situation of polymyelitis nationwide? What is Cameroon's percentage of polymyelitis?
23. We had cases.
Okay.
I can say around response campaign to ensure that the immunity of the population is strengthened.
All right.
And that's why those campaigns are being organized. So I can say here that the surveillance system that we have in place in Cameroon is so sensitive and is quite robust in such a way that any little trace, polio, we don't look for polio in the community. We look for cases of paralysis. We call it acid flaccid paralysis. That's AFI. That's what we find in the community, because you cannot have a polio case without having paralysis. So, we look for all cases of paralysis, and that's what we do at the level of the community. So we tell our community health workers to look for cases of paralysis.
The ground, at least from the echoes, from your colleagues, from the people you send down to the field, has the perception changed? Or still the same?
Exactly, Henry. It's not even a matter of sending people in the field. I think I witnessed it myself.
Okay.
As a field epidemiologist, what we do is that you don't send people to the field. You go ahead down there in the field. So we go to the community and make sure that we do what the rules and regulations require. So during the advent of COVID, that's in early 2020, everything was almost got scrambled because people were so scared. We had a lot of misinformation, a lot of disinformation, a lot of rumors that surrounded the vaccination program. Some people even got scared. People were not frequenting health facilities for fear. The studies, what we did was that from the coordination of the program at the central level, the strategic level, so we had to sit down and make sure that